this year again is a little difficult year due to the world retail markets being quite dull. To add to this, the major crisis of the Red Sea, wherein the freight rates have gone up by almost 6 to 7%. This is affecting prices to the retailers because, as you know, the final prices are calculated by retailers as per landed price of the goods. And since the freight rates have gone up, there is a tremendous pressure on retail prices and thereby pressure on margins. Furthermore, one of our major markets, which is the UK, is still suffering the cost of living crisis, and the retail trade in the UK is quite dull. What the company is doing is, what we are doing currently is trying to increase our specialty socks business, which includes football socks as well as specialty sports socks. By doing this, we are trying to increase and better our product mix so that we get better prices, thereby trying to increase our margins. The other thing which is also affecting the business is that the long-awaited FTA between UK and India is still not signed. But you will be very pleased to know that in today's economic times, it goes on to say that the FTA between India and UK is completing and we are at the final stages of this particular agreement. If the FTA is signed, this will be an additional advantage to the company, as currently all our socks that are being sent to the UK are being subject to an import duty of 11%. Once the FTA is signed, we hope that this duty will become zero, and thereby our product will become more competitive, and probably we can even raise some prices. The other thing that I need to mention during this current year is that you must have read in the news and the reports that during August and even in September, Navsari has received very, very heavy rains, and there have been floods in many parts of Navsari. Luckily, our factory has been unaffected by this, and I wish to state that our staff and workers have done a wonderful job in spite of all these odds to dispatch our goods well in time. And as you know, the months of August and September are very critical for dispatches because we are basically dispatching goods for the oncoming Christmas season. So I would like to thank our staff and workers again for doing a wonderful job against all odds. Currently, as I mentioned, the objective of the company is that we are trying our level best in terms to at least double figures, that is 10 and above. And hopefully, we should be able to match our targets by the end of the year. As you know, in the socks business, we cannot predict ahead for more than 6 months because being in the fashion business, basically there are 2 seasons for socks, that is spring, summer and autumn, winter. So at best, we will only have orders for 6 months in advance. And currently, we are now making samples for spring, summer 25. Therefore, it is difficult for us to give you forward mentioned figures for more than 6 months. This is a standard practice in all garment exports and allied industries. So currently, this is the position, of the current year. And as usual, we will give you our second quarter figures once the quarter ends on 30th September. With this, I would request the Sarita to let us know if there are some questions from the shareholders, which I would like to reply to in the best manner possible. Was share your distribution network and business model. So let me inform you that basically we have two distribution models in Virat. One is that we dispatch directly to the end customer who has a central warehouse, and from the central warehouse, the customer will distribute our socks to its various stores. So this is the first model, which is a direct to customer model. The second model, which is mainly followed in the UK, is that in the UK, most of the retailers, they want us to stock and sell, in the sense that that means that we have to store the goods as per the requirements. So when this is required, what we do is we go through an importer who will hold the stocks at his end and then will distribute and sell the socks to the retailer as and when, more so on a weekly basis. So if this model is followed, it is a model that is sent through the importers and then going to the final retailer. So these are the two basic models that we follow. Your second question was the profile and how they distribute, which has been answered in the first question that I just answered. Your third question is how do we expand reach to the global market and domestic market? As mentioned, we are increasing our reach through additional football socks business. And let me explain to you that the football socks clubs that we dispatch to, the clubs have fans all over the world, and our dispatches for football socks go all over the world. For example, we dispatch to Spain, we dispatch to Italy, we dispatch to many other countries where the fan base is there. So through this, we are able to dispatch even to the South Asian countries like Indonesia. We also supply to Bangladesh. So this is what we are doing. We are also trying to look at the US market and thereby extend our reach. In the domestic market also, we are following the same route, that is contract manufacturing, and we are supplying to a number of brands in the local market. Your fourth question was what is the current demand and outlook for FY25? As mentioned, we have currently only completed about 5 months, and as mentioned, the next season is coming up and we cannot forecast more than 3 months at a time. So most of our business will be dependent on how the Christmas sales go, and depending on the Christmas sales, we will able to target more business for spring summer 25. Your next question was about the revenues, and so which I told you that currently it's difficult to mention the exact revenue for year ended FY25. The other question was on EBITDA margins. As I have already told you, the company is targeting to increase our EBITDA margins at least to double figures. Your other question was any capital expenditure for 25 and the next 2 years. Yes, we have continuously added more machines, knitting machines, and we plan to augment and replace our knitting machines in the future also. And the other project we are looking at is that we are planning to have our own solar panel system, and we are studying the feasibility of this and seeing what is the payback period for this kind of a project. So these are the basic questions that you wanted me to answer. In case you need any further info, please do ask me.
Thank you, sir. With this, we complete our speaker shareholder queries. Now you can proceed further.
Hello.